Hi, I'm Tim Blueflint Ramel. I'm Bad River Chippewa and Comanche. I'm a flute maker, a second generation jeweler, and an educator and performer. I grew up in the Pacific Northwest and now I live in Northern California. I started doing art when I was actually quite young. I mean, my dad had one of the earliest pictures that I ever did hanging over his easy chair for years and years and years. And it was, I don't know, it was some kind of a cartoon or something, some school project that was done with felt cutouts and things like that. But you have to remember that I grew up with artists all around me all the time. I mean, my dad, after he retired from the service, I was still pretty young, and he was an artist at heart. He dabbled in a lot of different things, everything from pastels to paints to stained glass. My grandmother was a well-known silversmith. So when I started in fine art, really with flutes and jewelry, was I was probably 11 or 12 years old. Somehow my grandmother always knew that I was going to be an artist, even though I didn't. And she would have all of her friends come in and teach me different things. I mean, I learned young how to tan hides. I learned how to do beadwork. I dabbled in silver work. And nothing really, really quite spoke to me. And my grandmother used to say, it's okay, don't worry about it. It's okay not to feel comfortable, but it's important to learn the skills because you never know when in your life you'll need those skills to incorporate. So yeah, she always knew. She always knew. And then I actually got away from it for, oh gosh, probably 30 years, working in corporate and sales training and things like that. And then slowly I just kind of found my way home. When I started to learn silversmithing, it was literally when I was a young teenager, hanging around in my grandma's studio, while she was working. And it was fascinating. It fascinated me to watch her take sheets of silver and contort them and stamp them and move them and melt them and create these things of beauty out of seemingly nothing. Um, and we would talk and we would talk and we would talk and she would show me what she was doing and quenching and this and that and the other. And so 40 years elapses, and now I'm going back into silver work. So here's what I learned. um, Everything is different, all of the techniques, all of the tools, stamps of hardened steel rather than just, filed rebar. And, everything is more technical with rollers. And remember, she didn't cast anything. Everything was fabricated. So, what's the difference? Oh, the difference is this. Let's start with what's the same. The biggest thing that's the same is the metallurgy. Metal still reacts the same as it did 40 years ago when you stamp it, when you heat it, when you melt it. Pretty much everything else is different. Well, I think what keeps me in it is it took me so long to get there. Number one, and it's an amazing community. The connections between people, not only collectors and other artists, but gallery owners and just people that are interested in your work. So I think that's one of the big reasons. The other reason is I realized after I had been in it for a while, my grandmother used to always tell me that there's stories that need to be told. And I think on reflection that, yeah, that's part of the drive. It's the collective memories, and the memories of the history of our people that need to be told and need to be shared. And I think that that's one of the big reasons that really keeps me going.